I think the main question we've all been wanting to know for the past couple months was, will these two get back together? Now, the main reason why a lot of us probably thought no was because this man that writes this story, he is the most unhinged person ever, so he'd probably not give us any form of them ever reconciling or coming back, even any closure. We would never get that. Months would go by, we would see their dates, and this is before everything went to shit. But then one fateful day happened. Chapter 120 was the reintroduction of Naruto into the Chainsawman story, but also the ending of Asa and Denji's relationship. And the way it ended was, you know, I'm not gonna be real, pretty unsatisfactory. Let's be real, the way it ended was, oh, I made me want to throw my monitor out the window. And again, nothing really good happened to her. She had a lot of sad stuff happen to her. Let's just leave it at that. But not until today did we see that everything changed. He did it. He really gave us closure. I was begging at the ending of all my videos for them to get closure. That's all I wanted, and I finally he finally let them have closure, and I'm so happy. Oh, finally. Now, last week I didn't make a video on this because I was really sick. I'll eventually do a video on this entire arc, just like talking about what happened. So wait for that, I guess. Anyways, let's get on to the chapter. So the previous chapter ended with the falling devil finding Asa hiding on that balcony, and then she throws her into the air to start falling. Chef Lady then catches Asa and starts telling her that she's mostly really scared of just falling and the feeling of falling, and she can make that all go away if she just gave herself up. You're obviously being like, well, no, what the hell's wrong with you? Well, she doesn't say that, but you could tell what she's saying in her face. It's in her eyes. And then Asa remembering all the traumatic things that happened to her, like that thing. Oh god, I hate. Don't even get me started. If I have to see this thing one more time, I shouldn't have punched my monitor. She then just lets herself go, lets herself fall, and she feels peaceful about it. She then starts to rethink everything she's done, you know, like all the bad stuff, all the stuff she wanted. It's just sad. It's just pure sadness. But then he grabs her. Denji saves her from falling. She's clearly shocked to see Chainsaw Man saving her, and, you know, Denji's been playing hero, or if it's either him or fake Saw Man, we don't know yet. She tells him to let go because she's fine with actually falling, and that life's nothing but pain, and, you know, the basic shtick of every Chainsaw Man character. My boy's clearly like, are you insane? And you know, him of all people should know. Yeah. He then tries to make her feel better by making her think happy thoughts like dogs and cats, and oh shit, you remember what happened to her cat? He notices and then switches the subject. She got heavier because she probably remembered about what happened with but let's pause right here, because I generally think if you guys haven't read the chapter yet, you guys should, because the next pieces of dialogue I can't do justice, and I think you guys should read it instead. So I'm just giving you a fair warning. Go read the chapter. Also doesn't remember cats because of what happened to her old cat. Denji's like, yo man, I've been there before. The cliche line of, what do you know? Nobody has it worse than me, you know, the cliche line. But he starts saying, you know, when it gets good, it eventually just goes downhill, because that's just how life is. Denji starts saying stuff like, you know, it's not all bad. You can't just remember the bad stuff. There's good stuff too. And compares it to, you know, this. Now this line broke me. When Asa asks him how did he get over it, him just saying he hasn't, he's not. Which if you know anything about part 1, you know how sad that shit was. He says how he just has a motivation to keep pushing forward. He's got motivation to, you know, push forward, and, you know, he's willing to take every single punch the world throws at him. Asa then asks, what is it? And in the most Denji fashion ever, he just says he wants to have sex, which is the funniest thing ever. This whole page is just like funny as fuck. Like, out of context, it's hilarious. And that's how the chapter ends. So what did I think? Wow, that was a lot. We got more insight on Chainsaw Boy's POV, considering what we saw last chapter with him remembering, you know, Aki and Power from last part, and him just saying he's not over what happened, but he just has to continue because that's how life is, and him having motivation to do it. This is big because it shows that he developed as a character, and everything from part 1 wasn't forgotten, and he still remembers it, and he still isn't over what the fuck happened, but he just has to keep pushing forward, which is really sad considering everything that happened in part 1. Oh god, bro, that shit was so fucking sad. And him using these experiences to try to get Oz out of this shitty state of mind so she doesn't keep levitating into her fucking death. It's really sad that she had to go up like to this point where she's like, alright, just kill me already. It's really, really sad. It's still unknown what Chef Lady's intention is to, you know, drop her into hell for some reason. Maybe because she knows she's one of the 4 horsemen, but even then it's like, what's the point of that? But this and last chapter being really good as character building chapters, and also just for mindless action, especially with this chapter, just them discussing how they feel. detailed. It's always gonna be a 10 out of 10. Also, this chapter adding, you know, Chainsaw Boy's classic dumbassery into the mix, which, you know, makes it, again, a 10 out of 10. So, clothing thoughts, I think the next chapter is gonna be, you know, good as always. These last 5 chapters have been really, really good, with the reveals especially. Like, we still don't know who pulled, this boy's plug string. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Theories range from it being Kobeni or it being, you know, fake Sawman. Who knows? The only thing we have to do is just wait till the next chapter comes out. So, yeah, please subscribe, because I am really desperate at this point.